My mom taught me to sell at a spaza shop. She ran a hair salon. I pretty much learned entrepreneurship from my moms.
Ngumntu ngabantu. That on your own, you can't really do it. You need the support of those around you.
You will have a network of people, a network of communities, and a society that will make sure that you count.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another segment of opportunities at Youth Connect on the SAITA StraightTalk platform. For those that are tuning in for the first time, this is a reminder, this is a platform, an engaging platform for youth to connect with learn, grow, and earn opportunities. And every week we invite various guests and speakers that can add a lot of value and guidance that will help you see yourself to where you have always wanted to go. And today is a very beautiful reminder or powerful reminder of what we have been discussing in the last month, where we were in the awareness of the gender-based violence 16 days of activism. And how fitting that today is the last day of that awareness. So today we are really speaking to our young girls and boys out there. And I am very excited to have two very powerful women on our panel today. I'll give them 30 seconds just to briefly introduce themselves and say hello to those listening in. We've got our lady President Rosheda Muller of SAITA, very familiar face and voice that many of you will know. Thank you very much, Rosheda, for joining us today.
Good afternoon, Samantha. What a great pleasure for me to be speaking on this platform on such a day, the last day that we are having of the 16 days of gender-based violence. A very topical issue, an issue that needs to be addressed. And as SAITA, it is important that we play a role in speaking to the youth, in encouraging the youth that we are there for their assistance. We are there for their, to motivate and to lend that shoulder. I know, Samantha, your passion is so great for the youth, and I'm very glad to be able to share some of my experiences with them. And, to me, I always tell my grandchildren, never give up.
Thank you so much, Lady President. I look forward to your always deep insight that I always learn so much of. Thank you for that. We've got another special lady, Samantha Adams. Good day, Samantha. Welcome.
Hi, Samantha. It's been funny. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, Sam. And I know that I've actually connected with Samantha very recently through a business network, but I know that Sam has a lot of value to add, particularly around gender-based violence, but particularly around sexual harassment and abuse. And Sam, I just want to ask you is that now having just come out of the awareness that we've had in raising awareness around gender-based violence, but I think particularly speaking to our young people today, and when we look at what our topic is, it's about, face your fears. If I had to say to you, Sam, face your fears, what does that mean to you? And what would you say to a young person, a young girl, a young boy sitting at home today?
Sure. Well, honestly, I actually had a fear of being on here. And I think it was a few minutes before the thing I did tell Samantha, I can't do this. It's just too much because I only recently started coming out with my story and the platform is too big for me. I can't handle it. And then, yeah, she sent me a message and I thought, you know what? It's about facing your fears. So I would say to young people, basically, don't listen to that part of you that says you can't do it because it's not you. It's somebody else's voice. It's somebody else that's telling you no, you can't do it and you can't do it. Because every time I know when I say I can't do something, I know it's not me because I get up and go every single day. And when I say something I can't do it, I know, oh my word, because afterwards when I logged on, I thought to myself, you know what, it's not me. I am a person that will go forward and do something. So what I would like to say is like, don't listen to that negative voice. When it starts coming up, think of what positive is going to come of it. Think of what type of things who am I going to help now? Am I going to help myself? Am I going to help somebody else? Rather think of those things that's more positive than this negative thing that you're listening to all the time. Shove him aside. Just put him that way and start listening to that positive voice that comes always out within. That's what
Thank
I
you,
would
Sally.
say.
Thank you so much. I do apologize. I know I did put you on the spot, but I don't give up, and I think that is probably why I enjoy working in the youth space because it's where the passion is. But more importantly, I think it's important that you, when you see potential or when you see there is that hunger to do something, or there's that need that you can do something about it, then you have to go for it. It's facing that fear head on, and whether that fear is limiting you from what you were supposed to speak about or to speak out or to use your voice. And this is the one thing that we're wanting to encourage, particularly amongst our young people. Use your voice. You've got a voice, but you need to use it for the good. You need to use it for the right reasons. Sam, I'm going to come back to you. Lady President, so in saying that, if I had to say to you, face your fears. Now, Rashida, you one of those people that comes with so much wisdom, not only from your experience or with being in the education or the informal sector, but just your insight into so many different things. Face your fears. What does that mean to you? How would you sort of define that or relate that to a young person?
I'm sure, Samantha, under today's circumstances, we do hear so much of um, suicides. We hear of so much depression amongst our young people. And we need to see how do we assist them by, looking at ourselves, like the other young lady, Samantha, is also saying. Let go of the negatives. Tell yourself, I can. I can do it because I can. And it's for us to create that environment around them, to give them the opportunity that they can. But they need to be aware of us, that we are there to uplift them, to guide them, and they need never to feel alone. So we want to reach out to the young people through your through your organization, Samantha, and through the Youth Connect, that SAITA will be there to be leaned upon so that we can assist, we can give you the ear, we can listen, and we can advise wherever we can. But we need to instill into you that you are the future. You are the younger generation, and we need to look to you for bravery, for for looking at new innovative ways of looking at business. The informal sector is the biggest growing business sector. But we are the old gogos. We have to give way to some of you. And we're looking for those. And I know we found quite a number of them. And of course, well, the one is hosting today. So we're very proud that we have on board such real versatile, wonderful, committed, and compassionate women who are there to assist. And I'm saying women because it is mainly the women who share the compassion. But we are understanding that there are young men and young boys who also go through the gender based violence. And we need to tell them to rise up, stand tall, and be counted. It is important for you to note that you are an individual that God created. You have your own potential. Do not let other people, make you think negative or make you think there's no value. We all have great value in each other. And imagine when we pull those values together, how great aren't we as a collective? So SAITA is there as that collective throughout the country to assist the younger people, to bring them up and out of depression, out of the loneliness, the corner that they're sitting in, and show them there's a bright new world out there.
Wow, thank you so much, Rashida. That is very powerful, eh? Thank you. And you have now publicly committed that SAITA is that platform where young people can engage with or can connect with, that they are not alone, and that it's so much more than just business as usual. There is that soft, I almost want to call it that soft support, where you need that. Where do I go? I'm lost. I don't know where to go. But what I want to come back to is to say that, so having now just there was so much spoken about, the GBV, the gender-based violence with our young people in the communities, and there was a lot of talk around how to deal with it. Many people shared their stories, and it was very powerful. And but the question remains: what do I do? Where do I go? Um, and as a young person, I can just imagine you you probably blame yourself. You're not sure. You question your self-worth. So all of those are questions that needs to be answered almost immediately, isn't it? Because otherwise, if you are not providing that assistance or you don't have a support system, you then are then sort of led to things like suicide, as Lady President had said, or thoughts of being alone. So the question is, where do I go? What do I do? Where are those platforms, or where are those connections that I can connect with? Sam, I want to ask you about that, please.
Well, gosh, I don't know where are the platforms actually. The thing is, from what if I look back now, when I was a teenager going through these things, um, I could pick out people that I could have maybe trusted, but I didn't have the courage to do it. At the point I think when I was a teenager, I probably tried to commit suicide like 4 times. I felt ashamed. Um, my perpetrators would always tell me that, you're not worthy, no one's going to believe you. And those types of things I ended up believing. And what I didn't realize is, and I probably realized that only now, that there are those people. There is somebody that you can connect to. You just have to find it and look for it. And like, I can honestly say, like, till today, I actually don't know who those bigger platforms are. who those platforms are that can actually reach out to the youth, and to find that there is a place like Youth Connect. It's the first time I'm hearing of it, by the way. So to find there's a place like that, it should be out there more. And how come it's not publicized so much more for these youth to go to? Because I'm sure if I knew there was, there's this space for me to go to and something I can trust, and they're encouraging you to come forth and speak, I would go there. But there wasn't that. There was like, oh, where do I turn to now? All I have is this person telling me no one's going to believe you. And that's who I ended up believing. That this person that says, okay, no one's going to believe you. And all these years I thought, there was something wrong with me. Until finally, when I actually just had enough, and I thought, you know what? There's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them, and it's time for me to now speak and let like the youth know that there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with your feelings. There's nothing wrong with your thoughts, and there's nothing wrong with your truth, and it needs to come out, no matter what it is, no matter what your truth is, and you stick to your own integrity and you bring out your own truth.
Yes. And Sam, thank you so much for that. And what I'm hearing you saying is that there seems to be quite a big gap in terms of especially young people not knowing where to go, what is available in terms of support. Am I hearing you correctly in saying that? Because had you known, when you were younger, where to go, where the support is, and obviously it's a trust issue as well. Wherever I'm going, is my story going to be kept confidential? Can I trust those people? Are they going to encourage me? Because now obviously my self-worth is shot. And so it is really about that safe space that I know I can access. And definitely as Youth Connect, as SAITA Youth Connect, we would like to think, and I'm sure Lady President will agree with me, that we certainly would want to be that platform or that safe space where youth can feel they can connect with whatever situation they may find themselves in, that they can connect, and there will be someone that will be able to provide them the required assistance that they need at that given time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's certainly, so you would say there's certainly a need for that.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Lady President, what would be your response to that?
Well, I'm thinking of how we could broaden our, shall I call it scope, or how do we reach? How do we reach all these vulnerable young people who need that support, who need that shoulder to lean on? We need to look of how we could do activation broadly. I know the social media, the social platforms are very big. And maybe look, this one today, this video should go out. And this whole recording of what we're discussing today should reach those vulnerable groups. And we need a SAITA to look at our partners who works with the vulnerable youth, with the gender-based violence, the people who have been affected. I know there's a big outcry. I know there is even in Parliament we have the gender ministry, and it's important that SAITA opens up these partnerships and to reach it in every 9 of our provinces as we are present there. So Youth Connect needs to become more widely known, and we need to look together as a collective, discuss which ways would be best. And maybe Sam, the young lady, could also be talking to us about where do the youth go to when they're in that lonely space? Where we need to give them a tool, somewhere where they know they can just open up and read something that will uplift them. Read something, a story of another person who has gone through it and has successfully entered into, whether it's business or whatever the line of work that that person went into. That negativity, that loneliness, that feeling of guilt, we need to have a platform where they reach at, and they reach us through that platform, where they will be installed with the awareness, with the fact that they were created for a purpose and not for negativity, not to be abused, not to be violated, but to stand tall and be counted, as I said earlier. So, yes, there's work for us to be done to see how we can broaden the reach. But maybe Sam can give us some maybe examples of what she think we should do. We should also ask the young people, what should we do to assist you? What can we do to assist you? But there are many platforms up there, and we need to bring it together for the reach of our people that are so badly affected.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lady President. So, Sam, that is an invitation for you, because in order for us to strongly to make this, I almost want to call it service or support service available to our young people as an extension. People like yourself with your stories, because there's power in your story. We learn through stories, isn't it? People like yourselves that can give us guidance in terms of, what are those key issues that needs to be addressed in order for us to help our young people in terms of what the needs are. Now, with respect to Youth Connect, for what is ahead, so every month, for example, we look at what are the key areas that we will focus on. So whether it's education, whether it's arts and culture, and through those various sectors, we then engage with them. It's also a way of dealing with whatever situation you're finding yourself, but you need another outlet, isn't it? You need another outlet in order to change that mindset, in order to build that self-worth, that confidence. Um, Sam, what I want to ask you is that, we often hear about life skills. There's a lot of talk
Yes.
about kids, you learn life skills at school. Um, but would you agree with me when I say I thought about this today actually? We almost need to go back to when we were younger, the way we were taught how to speak to a young girl or how to speak with respect. It's almost going back to those basics in terms of your most basic form of communication, because that's where it starts, isn't it? Because if
Yeah.
you know how to speak with respect, or how to be, or have self-respect, um, already if that in itself will put you in a position where you know what your rights are as a young person. You know what is right, you know what is wrong, you know how to respond to it. um, what would be your response to that, Sam, in terms of almost going back to those basic life skills and teaching
Um,
those to the young
yeah,
people?
look, definitely the basic life skills. I think definitely it's a point to look at. And then also from what I use, I tell you, like maybe how I coped with my stuff, or how I'm still coping and dealing. I use my own business as a platform, and the things I learn, and from that business, I've created. I've went into entrepreneurship teachings for kids, and it's just about channeling their thoughts and ideas from away from whatever is going on, whether it's any stress, abuse, whatever is going on in their lives, channeling it away from that and bringing it out onto a platform. So I use like the dream board to basically expand on that, where they can write down their goals and aspirations and all what they aspire to be without that negative parts. And then I've also created something which I use. Um, It's called My Entrepreneurial Journal. And I use entrepreneurship because it doesn't pinpoint out one thing. Like, it doesn't say, for me, this was a platform I could use, that it was safe for everybody. So nobody has to know what you're going through. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So nobody has to say like, okay, fine, this is how to cope with this type of emotion. It's not like that. It's more like nobody has to know what you're going through. It's your situation. So I created like an entrepreneurial journal. And in this journal, I put in there like positive affirmations for these learners to use in their daily lives. I also use stuff like mood boards. So when they doing their goals, they can cut out the mood that they're feeling that day, whether it's angry or sad or happy, and they can pace it by that goal so that they can see how different it is if they change that way. Oh, I'm angry today. I had one goal, and now tomorrow they're feeling happy and excited. Maybe go back to those things and see, do I have some more goals? Do I have something more I can aspire to? And see how the difference in your own mindset can change what you see. I also put in there like coping with stressful situations, whether it's schoolwork or any type of thing. And I've added in there ideas on what they can do, like listen to music, take a walk, do some physical exercise. So I've used physical exercise as one of my own tools that I do when I feel stressed. I do boxing. I just started boxing. And the physicalness of it has actually helped me cope with stressful situations. And I've put this in this little booklet of just doing a physical work, listening to music, writing a poem, writing a story, taking a long walk, something like that. And these types of things I put in this entrepreneurial journal, so that it's a journal, but it's also a way for them to just change their mindset without even knowing it. It's like a gradual, gradient way for them to just change their mindset as they go through it and create a business at the same time.
That's amazing, Sam. There's such a lot of valuable outlets that you've just mentioned now. And that's exactly what it is, because there needs to be a positive outlet, isn't it, in order for you to deal with whatever space you're finding yourself in. And like you rightly say, you will know what works for you, but it's important that you not sit on it and try to deal with it on your own in silence. So, one of the best ways to break that silence, like you say, is all those things that you mentioned, whether it's poetry, whether it's taking up a new exercise or boxing, or whether it's dancing or just going mad, but it's having that a sort of positive creative outlet that allows you to deal with whatever trauma is happening in your life at the moment, or whatever your situation or your environment looks like. uh, Sam, you know what? I'm so encouraged by you coming today and actually to share, because I know it took a lot of courage, but just by being here, you are also giving a lot of courage to many others, I'm sure, that are listening in today. So thank you for that. But you're also encouraging me, because now a little light bulb has gone up in terms of what this Youth Connect platform needs to become even more now, isn't it? Because I think it's also become very clear that there needs to be more access points for our young people, but more importantly, there are many, but they don't know of them. So there needs to be that visibility, and that awareness needs to be created. So, Lady President, we've got some work to do, but we're excited about it because we love the young people and we believe in them. We believe in them. And the one thing that you mentioned that I'm very passionate about, and so one of the things that we're actually going to take on early in the year is goal activation. You know, we have many goals, but what do you do about them? It's what you do about them that will determine where you are going to go. So you need to actively work on them. So
Yeah.
goal activation, thank you for saying that out loud, because it is such an important thing for our young people to realize what it is, what it means, but more importantly, what you need to do about it, isn't it? So yeah, so what we're hoping to do and what we will do via this platform is obviously to create a point of access. So whether it is referrals, whether it is events or activations that we will have that our youth can engage on, we will make it available through the SAITA Media or Youth Connect Facebook pages. Will be on the website as well. There's also the SAITA app that has just recently been made available. So all recent um, events or news will be posted on there as well. And youth, I would encourage you to download that app because you will have then access to information on your fingertips on 24/7. You will see on the screen there's information in terms of how you can contact us. Please do so via, like I said, via Facebook. There is an email address as well. Thank you so much, ladies. I am so encouraged by your wisdom, by your guidance, by your courage just to come out today. Just before we say goodbye to the listeners and we go off on our weekend, if you could just a last word of encouragement to our young people, please, Lady President.
Yes, to the youth, do not forget that you are the future. You are the future leaders, the future mothers, fathers, teachers. And we, as the Gogos, as I said earlier, and I call myself a Gogo, I'm almost 70 years old. And we need to be there to hold your hand, to give you the necessary service that we can. And as SAITA, the South African Informal Traders Alliance has a goal of inclusivity. We need to create entrepreneurs, like Sam says, and let us help you to become the best that you are. I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Okay, so to the youth, I'd like to say, don't give in to that negative self. Like, don't give in. Find that beacon of light and reach out. Reach out with both your hands and grab onto it and continue to follow it. Just don't give in to that negative self-talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And on that note, thank you for all those listening in. And remember to tune in every Friday at 3:30 to Opportunities at Youth Connect. There is some more exciting news to come. I wish you a beautiful weekend ahead. Stay safe, take care, and remember, keep on smiling. You are awesome. Goodbye.